The Crown Tundra has given us our first regional variants of legendary Pokemon, but little did we know that these forms are actually the originals. A while ago, I talked about the Galarian birds for a bit, bringing up the information posted on the Pokemon website at the time. From that, we learned that the birds are migratory, which is in line with even the Cantonian versions as we've seen them appear in Sinnoh and Kalos. And really that made sense for an origin of why there might be regional variants, and further confirmed that there were multiples of this specific group of legendary Pokemon. And while we didn't get any real answers as to why the birds have the typings and appearances they do in the Crown Tundra, we can kind of assume that it's due to usual adaptation of whatever lands they came from. Even though they're listed as Galarian regional variants, we're only told that they visit the Dyna Tree every few decades. If they are in fact migratory and seem to immediately be at odds with each other when arriving at the Dyna Tree, they probably all found homes in other far off and possibly unknown regions where they developed the physical traits that they did, each one being specific to the lands that they settled in. Though one detail I did like about these forms is that despite not being ice, electric, and fire types, they still had attributes that would lead people to mistake them for the Cantonian forms, which again I discussed. But now that we have the actual Crown Tundra expansion, we also have access to their Pokedex entries, which actually make things even more confusing and concerning. Going over each entry, they read, First, Articuno. Known as Articuno, this Pokemon fires beams that can immobilize opponents as if they had been frozen solid. Then Zapdos. When its feathers rub together, they produce a crackling sound like the zapping of electricity. That's why this Pokemon is called Zapdos. And lastly, Moltres. The sinister aura that blazes like molten fire around this Pokemon is what inspired the name Moltres. The lines that stick out the most are the ones that say the attributes that make them appear as ice, electric, and fire types, even though they're actually different types, are what inspired their names relating to these types, so this makes things really confusing. It would seem to suggest that these Galarian forms are actually the original forms. And if I'm being honest, it sounds kinda dumb. I mean, when both forms are migratory and people probably barely get a glimpse of them, it could be possible that the Galarian forms are among the first to be spotted and thus had their Pokedex entries written. But when the Cantonian forms were fully discovered before the Galarian forms, everybody assumed that these were the Pokemon that they had been describing. But then when the Galarian forms were fully discovered, things were kinda sorted out. Really, there's no way to tell which of these forms came first. In fact, they could have each evolved independently of each other and existed at the same time, just in different regions. But yeah, we really just can't tell, mostly because we got no story or explanation. But I think the real answer is that it doesn't matter. Zapdos could have originally flown and adapted to run instead, or vice versa, originally running and adapting to fly. But yeah, we just really don't know. In the end, both forms are built up as mysterious and elusive legendary Pokemon. Though it might be a bit of my own bias, I'm inclined to believe the Cantonian forms are the original ones if there is an original one between the two. And their elemental typing remains in their Galarian forms to some degree, manifesting in thunderous kicks, freezing glares, and fiery wrath. But maybe we'll get some answers soon enough, or maybe not. Regardless, they're both some pretty cool forms of these Pokemon, and I like that we're able to pick and choose which forms are our favorites. But anyway, hey, this is GatorEX, so let me know what you think what's going on with the legendary birds, Galarian, Cantonian, or if we can even call them that, because maybe they come from somewhere else. A quick little shorter bite-sized video, I guess, more that I've been doing as of late. If there's anything else you'd like to see me discuss concerning the Crown Tundra, I guess before we move on to, I don't know, going back to like retroactively discussing Pokemon and this and that, let me know, and hopefully I can get to it, you know, just more Crown Tundra stuff, because I guess I'll basically be the rest of November, maybe. But you know, it was fun. It was definitely fun, and thank you everyone for showing up to the streams for the Crown Tundra. Those were really fun. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and let me know. We'll continue that discussion down there. You can enable notifications, leave a like, subscribe. I messed up the order, but it's that same general thing, the typical YouTube stuff. Clicking that bell icon enables notifications, makes you remember tingling sweat, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.